Hello?
What's up, girl? What happened after Tony dumped you?
Girl, I'm over it. I went from heartbreak to hate.
Boy, joy.
I can't even do that. Hey, Bob.
How's it going in life?
It's going.
Is it now? Okay. So what's up? What's going on? It's raining.
It's raining.
It's thunder. It's
The world
tornadoes.
has changed now that I'm a rap star.
She's a rap star. She's a rap artist.
That's right.
So
I can officially say I'm a songwriter.
yeah, you've
Rapper,
written a
all the
song.
thing. I wrote more than one song.
Oh, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Wow, that's how we're gonna be. And see, and here I was gonna give you all this credit for being an amazing producer.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah, now it's true. See, this is the kind of shit that I'll be talking about.
Yeah,
All the time.
all the time. It's just torture being my friend, obviously.
Gotta get
So-
your torture somewhere.
Somewhere.
Might as well
So-
be Bob.
Are you afraid of torture?
Ooh, I am afraid of the concept of torture for sure.
In like a black concept?
No, like, I'm sorry, I went to like every movie or show that shows like soldiers training for torture. You know what I mean? Like training to withstand waterboarding. They always show the waterboarding montage, like learning how to. I don't know if that's the thing you can really train for. I mean, I guess the idea is to get used to the panic of not,
Yeah.
having just that much water slammed into your face at once.
I've always subscribed to the too much preparation causes, like, messes with your fight or flight. Like, the more you practice for something, the less likely you are going to be prepared for it, because in your head, it's going to be prepared one way only.
Yeah, I get you.
But we all know that probabilities and possibilities are...
Yeah. Well, because also when you're
astounding.
training, it's a more controlled environment. You know what I
It's
mean?
not
Like
real.
yeah.
I mean, as real as they want you to think that it's real, it's not a real situation. So you can never fully prepare yourself for things. And I think sometimes, preparing too much gets your mind set on they're only going to come in this door to murder me.
Right. Right. But I think that it's possible that you can do training that can prepare you to think better on your feet.
It's called watch a lot of horror movies.
Okay.
You get all those. I mean, watch every Friday the 13th. And you can get a lot of preparation.
Out of that.
Yeah, because first of all, everything starts with, is this a stupid scenario you should not put yourself into? If the box is checked yes, then you should go home. Are you going to investigate that noise?
No.
You're not, because you're black.
That's right.
I'm white. I would investigate. I have done that in the past.
Would you at least turn the lights on before you investigate the fucking noise?
Did we never talk about the basement situation on the show? I don't think we did.
I don't know if we did.
We talked about it. I think we did.
Did we talk on the radio show?
No, we were going to talk about haunted houses and scary stories, but we never did have a podcast on that.
Oh, that's right.
So I can talk about that this episode.
Uh-oh, watch out, kids. News stories.
News stories.
Story time.
So, yeah. Do we want to talk about that?
Sure,
It's a
I mean,
long
you brought it
story.
up. Okay.
So, I was moving into this apartment. Mm-hmm. Did we talk about it on the show, or did we talk about it?
I think you just... Oh, I don't think we talked about it on the show.
Okay. So I was moving to this apartment, and I was moving my furniture into it because I was moving in the next week, and into the basement. So I go into the basement to find out where I'm putting my stuff, and there's no lights in the basement. So I'm like walking around in pitch black looking for lights. Because I,
Right.
grew up with basements, so I'm like walking around with my hands in the air, feeling around for light sockets, which all have no light bulbs in them. So I leave, and I go buy light bulbs.
Okay.
And I come back, and I'm walking in this pitch black basement, putting in one light bulb, walking around trying to find the other, because there was like little rooms, just like rooms upon rooms in this basement. So I'm putting light bulbs in every single one of these rooms to see where I need to put my stuff. And when I finally come to the very last one, there's a curtain. And I open the curtain, and somebody is living in the basement.
Yeah.
There's a bed. There's an alarm clock. There's food in baggies. Yeah. There's small children's clothing. There's all kinds of fun things. So I immediately call my landlord. So I'm pulling my phone up. Cell phone. This was cell phone age. So
Okay.
it was cell phone time. Talking to my landlord, like, look, there's somebody living in this basement, blah, 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 blah. Phone dies. Fully prepared
Time to run.
to turn around and see someone standing behind me, because that's where we were in this situation.
Right.
I'd already found the lair,
Yeah.
and that's when I get murdered for finding out, because this is either the beginning of the horror movie or the end of the horror movie, right?
Right.
I don't live there, so it's technically the beginning, because I could be dead and no one would know because I don't live there and I'm not missing. And if it was the reverse, everybody would be murdered and I would be the final girl who finds out in the basement that everybody's been murdered in this apartment complex and the person's been living in the basement the whole time.
Right.
So, I'm the first to die.
Obviously.
I'm the shower scene in Psycho. So, turn around, no one's there.
Okay.
So I walk
Hightail it out.
Not hightail, walk out and get in my car. I call my landlord calmly, because it's just my phone died because of service. Tell him what's going on. He's like, okay, blah, 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 blah. Like, sorry you can't put your stuff there, blah, 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 blah. Just making me angry. So then I go back inside. Because now I want this motherfucker to know that someone knows that where he's living.
I think all the new lights would be the tip off.
Not angry enough.
Okay.
So I go through all this stuff, ransack it,
Right.
throw things around, just letting him know
There's a new sheriff in
there's
town.
a new sheriff in town, and he's got to go. So.
Okay, and you never really had an encounter with the individual who was living there, did you?
No, but there was one time, I lived in that apartment for like 5 years. A couple years later, there was like this loud slam on the front door, and this was behind the YMCA. I lived behind the YMCA, which you know where the apartment lived, because you lived in an apartment across the street.
Yes.
Not at the same time. And it was on Elm Street. Did I mention that? This was Elm Street. So I heard this door slam. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I come downstairs to see what's going on, and my downstairs neighbor's like, what the hell was that noise? Like, he's like, what's going on? So then I walk out, and there is a small child's YMCA card by the door, and there's no children in the apartment building.
Yeah. So.
And the person who would have left, the way the building was set up, was either through my apartment, through his apartment, or the basement. Yeah, so I let that go. I just turned in the thing and hoped that no one's kid was missing.
Right.
Because, yeah.
Yikes. Yeah, I do remember you telling me this story, and I remember thinking at the time, the fuck is... No, false. Everything is false.
Anybody who's ever been black that I've told that story to will always say white people are stupid, typically.
You're just like feeling around in the ceiling. Just, this is fine. It's totally normal. Oh my God.
I was determined. Anyway.
I can't.
So that was a time when I probably should have been afraid.
Maybe. Just thinking.
Yeah. What's your fears?
I have lots of fears. I did have an initial story that I was going to tell you.
Okay.
About stupid mistakes. Okay. So it's not only white people. Sometimes black people are dumb too. Now, granted, I was a teenager, so I don't know what that tells you. Then figured it out faster. I don't know. We're not going to get into that. That's not important.
Okay.
I love you. No, I was like 12 or 13, and I was waiting for the bus to go to the mall. Okay, feeling very grown about my life. Got my little bus fare, la la la. This guy pulls up, and he's like, says, hey, like in a very familiar way. And like in town, like everybody knew either my mom or my dad, right? And I kind of just got this sense like, oh, he must know my mom. Like the way he was like, hey, and how are you doing? And, oh, do you need a ride? I can take you on over there. So I get in the car, and it's like a few minutes after I get in the car, I realize I don't know this person at all, and he doesn't know anybody that I'm related to. Oh shit, this is all the things they teach you when you're a young kid, not to get in strangers' cars, and now here I've gone and done it. Are we even going to go to and I'm like my heart is beating out of my chest the whole thing because he's asking me, things about myself and like, oh, well, what kind of thing? Like in a very overly interested way, because he's definitely over 21. I'm clearly not even approaching 16. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, what kind of stores do you like to go to in the mall? And blah, blah, blah. Oh, I wish I could go shopping with you. And I
Do
was
you really want to go to the Limited?
You know what I mean? Like, very, like, stranger danger. You know what I mean? Like I said, the heart's beating out of my chest. Fortunately for me, the mall was pretty much a straight shot from where I lived.
Okay.
So it's not really like you could take a creative route or anything, but I was still, like, panicked the whole time. Like, they're going to find my murdered body. It's going to be all my fault. But I did make it to the mall. He, like, made one more lewd suggestion. Like, oh, if you ever need a ride again. You know what I mean? It was, like, one of those kind of situations. Thankfully, I got out of there. And I was, like, shaking for the next 10 minutes. Because, I mean, you got to remember also, you're young, and so you're, like, even more, like, oh, my God, I'm such an idiot. Why? Yeah. But I was safe, thankfully.
So you got a ride with a serial killer on his good day.
On his good day. He had probably just had a fresh kill or something.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I'm going to let this one go.
Yeah. Maybe there's a height requirement.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe only, hey, this is what it is. I know exactly what it is.
Okay.
Was he a black man or a white man?
He was a black man.
Well, first of all, he's not a serial killer. Second of all, maybe
He was biracial.
Maybe he. Oh well, was he?
He actually was.
And that ruins my whole thing. I was gonna say maybe he only killed black women and he just didn't know, based on your.
He's like trying to guess.
What kind of trying to get? Does she sound like she's like? Yeah, maybe he's just trying to get it all down before he killed you, and because you're just so
ambiguous
that he just let you go, or maybe because he's biracial. He thought you were biracial and just
I don't know.
Or Lisa, one of those things.
Her long lost cousin.
Right. Well, that's good that you didn't get murdered that day.
I know.
Look
I
where
appreciated
we'd be
it
today.
Exactly. But you have a story about picking somebody up, don't you?
And the mall.
Yeah.
So
Something about the mall.
Something about that mall. So I'd moved to Champaign. I'd probably been here maybe 6 months, and I'm a kind, generous human being.
Obviously.
As we all know. So I was at the post office, and this woman comes up to me, and she's wearing like hot shorts and like a bikini top.
Yes, you do.
I think it was actually cold.
Of course.
It had to be cold because I only worked that place from December to like March or April. So yeah, there could have been no time for her to be wearing. Anyway, it fits into later. So she like sees me stopping there, putting mail in the mailbox. Oh, and I was in my uncle's car. I was not in my own vehicle.
Okay.
And so she was like, "Hey," I think she called me James. Like, "Hey, James, can I get a ride?" And I was just like, "Yeah, sure."
Sure.
Can I get a ride to Kmart, which wasn't very far from where I was. So I drove her to Kmart, and as we were getting to Kmart, she's like, "No, I actually wanted to go to the mall." And I'm like, "Okay, so we'll take her to the mall." But in the car, she was telling me about how fond she remembered when me and her grew up together in
Yes.
the certain neighborhood.
Grow up in Champaign.
Even though I just moved to Champaign like 6 months earlier. She was probably in her 40s. I was 25. And we've all discussed how young I look. So imagine how young I looked at 25.
Yeah.
I'm looking basically 3. And so the funny part was that she was telling me, like, I know you love her, but your sister, and I don't get upset now, but your sister's a whore. And like that kind of conversation we were having. We talked about somebody being in jail too. I don't know if that was my sister or not that was in jail. But so then we went to the mall, and she was like, "I'll be right back. You stay right here," and I just left.
As one does at that point.
And so then I went to work, and I was telling everybody at work that of this, funny incident, and they were all like, "Why'd you pick up Wacky Jackie?" Like everyone had known who she was, because I guess Wacky Jackie would walk. And I've talked about her with other people from the neighborhoods later, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that was Jackie. Jackie would be walking around in like a bathing suit in February. Like that was her gig." And so it was just a really weird scenario.
Yeah. That is very weird, but I don't know what to do with that. I don't know Wacky Jackie, sadly.
Sadly, you don't. We should look her up and see if she's got like a Facebook page dedicated to her. Like some of the other people do. Like the woman that skates around the park.
Yeah. Actually, you make me think I'm gonna have to look up that Facebook page for that lady with that skates.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there because we're talking about fears, weird things. I'm gonna tell you that I am severely afraid of heights. There's a lot of things I want to do in life that I have not yet done because of that fear.
Yeah.
Ziplining being one of them. I keep thinking if they just could come up with ziplining that's like, a good 7 feet off the ground.
You still fall and die.
Wow, really? Thank you. I appreciate the way that you soothe me when these things happen.
I'm here for you.
Now, and I try to avoid heights wherever I can, but I have had several instances. We'll talk about roller coasters later. That's a whole nother category. But when I studied abroad one summer, I did get the chance to go up the Eiffel Tower. And I don't know if you've ever seen the elevators for that.
I've been in the elevator for the arch.
Okay.
And an elevator for the fake Eiffel Tower.
Okay. The elevators are clear. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see everything. So we're in line, and it's a long line. So then you have time for the dread to build.
Right.
And the fear.
The anticipation.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it even worse, right? Let's intensify it. So I was in line for like an hour, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I'm like fully expecting by the time I get out there, I'm going to be like, nope, psych, you're mine. I'm just going to wait till you guys come back down. I'll just stay here and hold everybody's stuff. But I managed to do it. And what my strategy was to just get in the center of the elevator, and because everybody's trying to, it was like summer season, so everybody's trying to get up there. There's enough people packed in, and I was like, just don't look. Because there's nothing worse than going, if you are afraid of heights, when you get in a clear elevator, when malls started doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Who decided that shit? It's just so eerie to see the ground leaving you. And all of a sudden, you just feel like you're going to fall. Like you're in a closed box, but you're like, I'm going to fall somehow, some way, to my death.
To the death.
But I didn't, thankfully, because there's like 3 different elevators you have to get on to go up that fucking thing.
You have to get off, go over, get off, go over, right?
Absolutely.
Because they can't build an elevator structure to go straight up. And the same thing with buildings.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So it's like, oh, good. Let's just keep doing this. Like, you don't want to just stop at the first level, guys? Like, this is great. This is beautiful. But I made it up. But I don't do heights, and I don't understand people jump out of planes. I don't understand any of those things.
No.
But now, did you say you had something that might cure my...
Well, no, I won't cure you. I'll make you more scared of
well,
heights.
thanks.
Yeah,
I
because
appreciate
I don't like
that.
heights either. We would know that. Like, that was part of my issues with living in Chicago, was walking up and down the L's.
Yeah.
Staircases were pretty nerve-wracking every single day, twice a day. But, and then riding them was like roller coaster type things we'll talk about later. But I was discussing this with somebody once, and I don't know who this person was and if they were important or a psychiatrist. But anyway, they said, what if you don't have a fear of heights, but you have a fear that you want to jump?
Okay.
Not that you're afraid of the heights.
Right.
But you subconsciously think you are going to jump from that height.
I don't know.
Doesn't that scare you a little bit more?
It scares me a little bit more. Because I've done, for somebody who's afraid of heights, I've done a lot of things people shouldn't do.
Yeah.
I've been to the Grand Canyon.
Right.
Tried to take pictures. I did not get close at all.
No.
But, I mean, even... It's weird because even at a safe distance, you still kind of feel like
it.
Somebody could try to push you. Or, I don't know. You have like all these.
Yeah, you're with
paranoid
everybody that loves you and will never do that. But yes,
thoughts. Somebody's gonna push me.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go flying.
it's not. You're not afraid they're going to push you. You're afraid you're going to jump.
Maybe so. Maybe so. But explain it. I'm not gonna jump down. Like I also get the fear. Have you ever been to DC? And
No, I don't believe in country capitals
okay. Well,
that aren't in the country.
Well, we can debate that another day, but nonetheless, their subway system, a lot of the subways are like way down. So you're on an escalator forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And going up for some reason is not so bad, but coming down and like being able to see that you're just gonna keep going down. It's almost like there's no end to the going downness. And you just feel like you're gonna tumble and fall. Like, I don't know.
Because you think you're going to jump.
I'm not gonna jump. I don't know. I'll sit with that idea, but I don't think that's it.
So I don't like heights at all. Like 2 steps.
Okay.
Like, I feel that my thing is I was an Egyptian cat in a past life. I'm like a cat. I do not like to not have footing and to feel things moving, to not be completely planted in something. So I don't like variables.
Okay. So you're not good on a ladder?
Ladders, no.
Like none of that
Step
shit?
ladders, no. I mean, I will do them in moments of things have to get done, so I have to do it type thing. But I don't like any of it.
I don't even like pickers. Have you ever worked in a warehouse anywhere? So I worked in a warehouse in town. We will keep the name to protect the guilty and the evil. But anyways, nonetheless, worked in a warehouse and mainly in an office. But sometimes I had to go out onto the floor, look at the different boxes and things. So at one point, I toyed with the idea of getting a picker license. Now, pickers are these machines that kind of go down rows and they can raise up so you can get to a lot of inventory, just for anybody who doesn't know what they are. And so I go on a ride along with somebody to kind of get an idea if this is something I can do. Now I'm thinking this is a friendly person. False. Incorrect. Explain to them. I have a thing about heights. I don't even know. I would like for us to just start off at the second level. I'd like us to start where I could just jump down if I wanted to. And so we're cruising along down the aisle. It's all fine, And it's like, okay, we're gonna go a little higher. I was like, all right. He's like, I was like, okay, it's not the end of the world. Do we turn the corner? We'll go down another aisle. Now all of a sudden he's decided to cure me of my fear of heights by just going up and down. Because people, to meet quotas and stuff, they can really fly on these things.
Yeah.
They shoot all the way up. They shoot down. They're like going down as they're grabbing stuff. And so he decided to take me on basically a picker roller coaster, if you will. And I was like, by the time I was done with that, after I decided I was going to also murder him, I was like, I'll never get on one of these things. I'll never have one of these licenses ever. Maybe a forklift because you're stationary.
True. Can we go back to the picker roller coaster?
Yes, let's go back to that.
That sounds like a roller coaster that would be at Dollywood. Just the name of it. The picker roller coaster.
The picker roller coaster.
Because that's the style of
Right,
guitar.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they should have that out there.
Maybe they do. I don't know. So you don't like roller coasters?
I don't know. Oh, I really don't like roller coasters. And people have made me prove this to them.
Yeah, stupid people. People say they don't like roller coasters, they mean it.
Just believe us when we say it.
Yeah.
Just believe. So I was in my early 20s and I had gotten talked into going to this trip to Cedar Point.
Because you were with gay people, because all gay people go to Cedar Point. Tell me I'm wrong.
I let you say it. I didn't say it. But it just so happens that I was on the trip with a lot of gay men. Look at that. It was a coincidence.
I only speak in truths.
Yeah, so wanted to go to Cedar Point so bad. And I was like, I don't really do roller coasters. They were like, no problem. They have a water park. I was like, now we're speaking my language. I'm envisioning myself on a lazy river. You know what I mean? Like, that's my... Yeah, that's right. So we get in the car. It's all fine. It's all Madonna and dance mixes in the car.
So bigoted. Just racist.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the times we lived in, okay?
Gotcha.
So... all excited. We're gonna swim in the pool at the hotel, and we're gonna drink and go team. Because that's another thing. A friend was DJing at a club.
DJ Eric.
That would be. You just throw the name out there, but anyways,
he's not listening.
He was gonna be at one of the clubs there and DJ and blah blah blah.
They're all named Eric anyway. All gay men are named Eric.
Wow, I feel that Bob is going to be in a lot of trouble after this episode. Oh, but anyways, so about 3/4 of the way into the road trip, you really ought to try at least one. Just try one. All the badgering starts. Everybody jumps in. You got to just try one.
We'll be there.
We'll be there with you. One of them is like, I'm definitely going to ride with you. So, this one friend has promised they're going to ride. They're going to be with me. And everybody's going to be behind and in front. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. All right, fine. I'll do one. I'm thinking I can pick a baby one, right?
Right.
Well, no, they have one picked out for me. It's at the front. It's called the Raptor. I was like, I don't like the sound of that name. That sounds horrible. No. I've ridden the Raptor. It's totally fine. It's so good. Now I've just gone into blind panic. So I just start agreeing to all kinds of ridiculous things that I should never agree to without seeing. Always see things before you say yes, kids. This is an important lesson. Just like read every contract before you ever sign your name. Always see things.
Well, this was also before you could look up what the roller coasters look like
true.
on your way there. So this was you barely had cell phones at this point.
We barely did. It was like still like the prime Americas of the world. It was not good. There are no smartphones happening. So, okay, fine. Raptor, you say it's not bad. You understand? I'm married. And everybody was so convincing. I was like, these are my friends. They care about me. False. Lies. Such lies. So, we get in the park, and we're looking at this thing called the Raptor, and I was like, it looks like that thing flips. That can't be right. No, it's totally fine. I'm going to be with you. Get in the line. The line is forever. Now I have more time. Well, somehow, don't ask me how, me and the beloved friend who promised to ride with me.
Does his name start with a D?
It might. End up at the very front of the thing because somehow he convinces me that being at the front is better than being behind because you can see everything that's coming. I don't know why that made sense at the time.
No.
Because I'm already covered just in
That doesn't make sense in like getting shot.
Blind panic.
Anything. Yeah.
Blind panic. So I get in this fucking thing and you know how it goes up and it's real slow? And I know I've made a bad decision, and I can see all these steps. They're like maintenance steps on the side, and I keep trying to think how I could get over to one of those. Right. Although, of course, you're already in the sky. Mm-hmm. And then it stops for a second before you go. And then it just drops you. And it's one of those where you're like suspended from above, so your feet are dangling. I'm telling you, I thought I was going to die. Like, several times I thought I was going to go into cardiac arrest because my heart was like pounding the most. I was screaming. I was literally, every part of my organs was about to come outside of my body. At the end of this thing, which I did all of the screaming and all of the cussing, I made up new cuss words on this thing. At the end of the ride, there's like a little hump in between your legs. I could not get over that hump. Somebody had to lift me out of the fucking chair.
What?
And so that is, kids, why I've never, ever, 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 ever remotely even considered a roller coaster ever again. Never. Not even fucking Happy Mountain or whatever shit they have with Disney. It's for kids. I won't do.
Oh, fuck Disney.
I won't do ever again. And that's my story.
Yeah. Well, I've always hated roller coasters. And
have you ever been crazy enough to get on one?
I was put on one when I was a kid, and that's why I'm scared of them. Yeah. Six Flags is a motherfucker. Anyway.
Oh, it is.
No one will ever tell me I need to get, or talk me into getting onto a roller coaster. And I've completely done the good friend thing that I'll go on the trips with you because you care about my, me and talking to me, and I'm really fun on road trips. And I will stand and wait for an hour for you to be on a roller coaster. I won't do that anymore either. So.
Because I did that the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
I was like, wait in line with you, walk through.
Yep.
Go down the other side.
Yep.
And then eventually I was just like, you know what? Life is too short. I need to be in a lazy river. Like, that's my new life goal.
I will never do that. I will never even entertain anybody's thoughts of going to a theme park of anything.
If they just made a theme park just with lazy rivers, you know what I mean? Like, because some of those water features.
It's called a fucking bathtub.
Well, lazy rivers are more fun than that. Honestly.
Lazy rivers has their whole other set of problems and involves a lot of the types of people that go to lazy rivers.
Well,
I mean, do you really want to be around nothing but people who have been drinking beer for 12 hours straight in a river?
Now, there is that. There is that downside. So, I don't know. I guess now you just killed my dream.
I'm here to kill
dreams. For a theme
dreams.
park that just had like different kinds of lazy rivers.
Dream Killer is my newest resume.
Ooh, nice.
Newest bullet point.
Put that in there. Amazing.
And remember that to be beautiful and natural is the birthright of every woman. And I wish you all loads and loads of loveliness and good luck.